All right, we're gonna take a little walk. All right, buddy. I've lived here for, I don't know, October 1st. It's December 5th, 6th. So that's 2 months that I've been here. And I've never walked on the beach with my dog at night. I don't know if I'm allowed to fucking do that because there's all these rules and you gotta like pay for parking. I didn't grow up having to pay for parking every fucking 327 feet. But that's how it is in Miami. So you guys know I'm in Miami. I'm dressed like I'm from Pennsylvania though, but it's all good. I also, I gotta go get my ID and my credit card from somewhere that I left. So I'm gonna go get that. Yeah, the thing is about this elevator is that sometimes we get on here and there's other dogs. And Charlie does not fucking like other dogs. Well, he likes other dogs, but he needs to like actually meet them before he is approached by them, which doesn't really make sense because how do you, you know, but he just freaks the fuck out whenever he sees other dogs. So every time I go on the elevator, it's like the door opens, he runs in, I'm like, oh, okay. Especially in the morning. I'm like, all right, now I'm up. Dude's just fucking barking at another dog. Loud as hell. And he barks, he sounds way bigger than he is. So, dude, this dog's taught me a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Like, apparently, you can just pee wherever you want. That's the first thing he taught me. No, but, I mean, I never even, to be honest, I never even really wanted a dog. And it was like a gift from my ex-girlfriend. He and another dog I got from my ex-girlfriend, but it didn't work out. And then I eventually had him. He was just living with me. It's taught me a lot, man. It's taught me a lot about patience. I feel like a lot of these things that happen in life, you don't see opportunities as opportunities all the time, you know? And like Charlie, of course, he's peeing on the fucking wall. It's just hilarious that I'm talking about him and he's just like peeing on the wall. Charlie taught me a lot about myself, you know, because like at any point, like technically if I didn't want him anymore, I could have just given him to a shelter, you know, or whatever. Giving him away. I don't even want to say a shelter because I probably wouldn't have even done that. I mean, like just find a new home for him, you know? And there was a time where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get rid of Charlie. You know, I can't take care of a pet, whatever. And I've even talked to my mom about it. I'm like, hey, Mom, like, I feel like he would live a better life if he was with you. But every time I try to do that, I feel so emotionally conflicted because I spend more and more time with him. And then I end up, you know, loving him more, you know? And it makes it extremely hard, you know, because when you love an animal, you'll do anything for them, you know? And I don't know, Charlie is one of those, Charlie reminds me of myself. Charlie's literally like me. It's so crazy to think about. I know when people say their dogs, you know, dogs are like their owners or whatever the fuck, you know. It's true though, you know. I don't know, I see like a little bit of myself in Charlie. And I just love him so much, you know. But, I mean, running this business, you know, yeah, sometimes he's just sitting there all day while I'm working. And I take him out, of course, but there's even times where, like, I'll bring him to the sitter, and he'll be at the sitter for, like, a few days, and I'm just like, being without him is worse than having him, like, bark, you know, or having him pee and poop on the fucking floor, which is really an easy cleanup, even though I'm still working on teaching him to not do that, which he does. He does weird shit out of protest. He likes to protest. I joke and say that my dog's a liberal. He doesn't work and all he does is protest. Sorry, no offense, guys. But Yeah, I love this man. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I want to take a walk on the beach with him. Every beach up here is like no dogs allowed and all this bullshit, and you can't be, I don't even know. I'm gonna see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? I get kicked off the beach. I mean, that could be fine, but who gives a shit? It won't be that expensive, right? But yeah, guys, I'm just reflecting a lot tonight. You know, I'm in an interesting transitional period in my life where, you know, I just moved to Miami 2 months ago, and I probably invested the most money I ever have in 1 month on my business, on systems, coaching, things like that to help me scale my business. Check out this Ferrari right here. This is sick. I see this every day when I leave. This is super fucking sick. Of course, bro's got the Montana license plate. But I've just been reflecting a lot, you know, because I'm in a transitional period in my life where I just moved to Miami like 2 months ago, and I'm being exposed to a lot of different levels of success, which is really good. You know, it's really good for me, you know. It's definitely helped me to level up a lot. But I'm also going through like kind of those growing pains and shit, you know what I'm saying, where it's like I'm doing different things, and there's a lot of different things that I know I need to do in my business that are uncomfortable, but I know I need to do them to make myself grow and make the business grow. And that's the thing, is like for a long time I've just doubled down on my strengths, which does work, you know, to a certain extent, but then you kind of realize that like you need to become a more well-rounded individual, especially if you want to run a profitable business. I noticed this thing like about a lot of people, and we'll say online coaches, online fitness coaches, because that's who I talk to the most, right? And with online fitness coaching, a lot of people, they try to build their business, and I noticed that there's a lot of similarities in shit that holds people back, right? Like they don't believe in themselves, they stall a lot, they make the same excuses, right? Like people that are stuck at like, we'll say $3,000 a month in their coaching business, they all make the same excuses, or they all have the same reasons as to why their business isn't successful. And I just started to realize something, right? Like I started to realize like, why are some people stuck at a certain income level while other people seem to continually elevate and make more and more and more money? Was it that they were smarter, the people making more money? Was it that they were better looking or had a better physique or had better sales knowledge or whatever it was, right? And it was really none of that. And it's never been any of the things I just mentioned. Really, the main factor is someone's drive and someone's conviction in what they're selling. And that has a lot to do with their circumstances and where they're at in their life and where they're actually, what mind frame they're actually operating from. I've realized this with the online fitness coaches. So it's like, for those that don't know, which I don't know why you wouldn't, if you follow me if you watch my YouTube, you probably already know this about me, but I'm basically like a consultant. I'm a mentor to coaches, to fitness coaches. I teach them the social media because my business blew up super fucking fast. Like my coaching business, as soon as I launched my coaching business around 2021, like ever since then, my business has literally exploded, right? And it's not that I had different resources that anyone else had access to, right? It's not that I had different really anything necessarily, but the stakes were definitely higher than most people. And what I mean is this: most people can't leave their job unless they have a backup plan. Like they won't leave their job unless they have money in savings, they have a backup plan, yada, yada, yada. It has to be like perfectly like how the fuck they want it for them to leave. But you have to realize something. Like when you keep a safety net and when you keep that plan B, it does distract from plan A. I know it's a cliche saying, but it's the truth, right? Like the more that you focus on the plan A and it being your only option, the more likely you are to be successful. Now here's the thing. Nobody does things unless they really have to or unless they see a real good reason to, which means if you want to get to 10K a month let's say in your business, or 20K a month in your coaching business, whatever it is, and let's say you're making 1/4 of that, $5,000 a month, or $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month, something along those lines, right? You have to realize something, that if you actually want to get to that level, that there is not only, yes, well, you have to learn things, but the biggest fucking fundamental difference in people that are successful and people that are not in any business, it's when the character changes. Hear me out. When you can change your character, like think about a character, like in a movie or in a book. The character, there are certain things that there are certain traits, right, that each character possesses, and there are certain ways that the author or the movie producer or whatever will explain and show this character, right? So they have an identity, right? So like the people that are in like someone who's in a movie identifies as that character because they have the traits that align with who that character is described to be in the plot. But this is the same as life. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of people, the reason that they lose continually in their life is because they actually identify with being a loser, right? Now, we all know that there's going to be a lot of loss in life. That's a normal part of life. I can tell you that firsthand. But do you identify with someone that loses and doesn't learn? Or do you identify with someone that loses, learns, loses more, learns more, loses more, learns more, doesn't beat themselves up about it, understands that it's a normal part of life, and then because of that, they're successful? Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of this has to do with two main things. It's having self-awareness and who you actually fucking are, and not just who you are, but who the fuck you want to be. Like, who do you actually want to be? Like, I had one of my clients, he's a young guy, he's 18 years old. He asked me this question. He's like, what can I do to like become that person that I want to be, right? What can I do to become that person? Well, I told him, I said, you have to start acting like that person now. How would he act? You have to fully identify with that person now, right? But a lot of times people don't go through this character change. They don't have this character adjustment if they don't have a good reason to. Get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. A story in a movie, like in a story or a movie, right? The character that's in the book, usually the main character, will experience certain things in the story that will change the character, right? It will change that person fundamentally. Now, and usually, like, if let's say it's a movie, it's usually some sort of journey that the main character has to go on, or finding themselves, or whatever it is, right? And here's the thing about this whole character analogy that I'm making, right? Is that people that want to find themselves, they don't realize that you can't find yourself where you always find yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is like, where you normally are, where you're comfortable, and what you're used to is not going to reveal the character that is within you. What I mean is this: we as humans, we actually need uncomfortability. We need a gap in where we are and where we want to be in order to envelop our character. So, for example, if you are someone that isn't where you want to be, first of all, welcome to the party, buddy. Everyone is probably not where they want to be yet, right? But here's the thing, is that when it comes to character, you have control over the environment because you're the author of this fucking book, this story. You are in control of the environment and the way that you handle certain circumstances in your life and certain things that happen to you in your life. Why is this important to know? Is because what I said before is when you start to identify with somebody that is that person that you want to be, right? You don't get there by just wishing it will happen. You don't get there by staying the same. You literally have to make the stakes higher. Okay? The best example I can explain it is that the best way I can explain it is this way, right? Let's say that you're a young kid, like you're an 18-year-old kid. Or let's say you are a 30-year-old guy. Say you're a 30-year-old guy. You're 31 and you have 2 kids and a wife. And you want to start a business. But it's really hard to save the money because you don't make enough and you have to literally take care of your kids and take care of your family. So it's really hard to save the money. And then as time goes on and on, you start to literally despise your job, right? And logically, you're like, okay, well, if I quit this job, I'm not going to have an income, right? I'm not going to have an income anymore, and my family may suffer because of it. But if you didn't have that income anymore coming in the next 2 weeks or the next month, whatever that check would come in, how do you think that would change you as a man if you knew what you needed, if you knew what had to be done in order to pay your bills? I'll give you another example. Now, stay with me now, right? Let's say you're 18, 19 years old and you're living with your parents and you feel stuck in life. And you're like, well, if I move out of my parents, it's going to be really hard, but I feel stuck in life and I don't know what I want to do and blah, 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 blah. Move out. Make the stakes higher. A lot of you guys, you need to understand the sheer power of putting your back against the wall. You need to put your back against the wall. You have to stop operating with so much logic, which really at the end of the day, if you're not where you want to be, when you're basing it off of your own logic and your own experiences, you are not you're not that guy. Like, you're not the guy that can even do what I'm saying is you can't really trust yourself now. This is why you have to step into the person that you want to become, because what the fuck would he do, right? This is what I mean. It's like you start to literally think about what would the man that I really want to be, what is he like? And also, here's another question I want you to ask yourself is why stall that? Do you know that you're in control of when you become that person? Literally, you can become him right the fuck now. You may not have every aspect of it, but you're in control of it being a 3-month, 3-year, 10-year, 13-year, 15-year process, and you're actually in control of the time. That doesn't mean you can stop time. It just means that what's the difference between becoming that person now and becoming them in 10 years? It's literally just the decision. That's it. And when it comes to character, guys, your character envelops the most when your back is against the wall. So a lot of people, they don't know who the fuck they are. Do you know why? Because they've never had to show themselves who the fuck they are. They've never had to show it. Not once. Never. And every time they did have that opportunity to show themselves who the fuck they really were, what did they do? They went back to what was comfortable. They went back to what wasn't scary. But like I said before, your character envelops the most when your back's against the wall. So as scary as it's like some people, they literally could not fathom leaving their job to start a business. Even if in their heart, they knew it's what they wanted to do. They knew they could be successful at it. They knew it was going to be hard, but they wouldn't do it. And that's why I'm saying, that's why I talk about, again, I'm talking about what I know. Business owners, I work with coaching businesses, right? Fitness coaches. It's the main thing that holds them back. The clients of mine that have been the most successful, mortgage has to be paid at the end of the month. They have kids. They don't have an income coming in, or they decided to quit their fucking job and go all in on the coaching. And guess what? Those were always the clients that were the most successful. I had a client, his name was Ola, $10,000 in his first month working with me. He was working at a fucking car dealership, quit the car dealership, was already making like good money at the car dealership, quit the fucking car dealership because he's like, I'm not selling cars anymore. It's not what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. He knew he wanted to be a fitness coach. Now he makes 40 fucking grand a month. He's doing podcasts with some of the biggest names in the fitness industry. He has a beautiful family, right? A big ass fucking house, a bigger house than when he first started working with me, because he makes a fuck ton of money now. My client Eddie, kid on the way, right? His girlfriend was literally pregnant, $10,000 in his first month.
Julian $5,000 in his first month. Why? He fucking has rent to pay in New York. His rent was fucking $3,500 for a fucking 1 bedroom, right? And he purposely cut his hours at his other job so he could focus on this business. Evan, my client Evan, personal trainer at Equinox. Listen, you guys have to understand this, right? This is the concept I'm trying to explain to you. Was making less than $5,000 a month as an Equinox personal trainer, but that was his income. That was what he relied on for years. He worked there for 2-3 years as a personal trainer. What does he do? Oh, he quits his job. He quit his fucking job. He invested in my 6-month program, which at the time, we're talking $7,500, which he made back in his second month. And now makes $10,000 to $12,000 a month. The character became enveloped when these people's back were against the wall. Myself, when I left my job, I took my monthly income and cut it the fucking half. No benefits. Gave up the entire fucking job that I had, that I worked for 2 years, that I got 5 raises while I was at, right? And I left to do Uber and Lyft. And guess what? My monthly income got cut the fucking half. Most people could not fucking do that, right? They think, oh, I could make a couple videos. I could sell some clients online. Could you leave your fucking job and make half the amount of money to know that eventually you would make 22 times per month the amount of money? I say that with passion. I also say that with some fucking heart, bro. That shit was fucking insane. It didn't happen easy either. And I say that because I got pushed to that point. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm really gonna decide to do it. It's like, no, I literally got pushed to it because I was like, fuck, dude. Now I'm having to show myself who the fuck I really am. It's like when people are like, how do you know what to talk about? Like, how do you like think of all this stuff? Like, it's so relatable because I'm fucking going through it, bro. I'm documenting what the fuck I'm going through, what I'm experiencing. And that's what you guys need to hear, dead ass, bro. You guys gotta stop. You guys have to stop thinking like, oh, if I just work hard and I keep my eyes on the prize. Dude, like look at your fucking life, bro. You're too comfortable. And for a lot of you people, they may think, well, I'm not comfortable. I hate my life. I hate my job. I hate the fucking current situation that I'm in. Then why the fuck are you still in that situation if you're saying that you're uncomfortable? Because the truth is, you're just comfortable enough. You may not be super comfortable. You may not love it, but you're tolerating it. You're tolerating it. You tolerate the fucking job that you work at. You tolerate the life that you live, the income level that you're at. You fucking tolerate it. It's a decision that you make. What's the conversation that you need to have with yourself, based off of this video? What's the conversation that you need to have with yourself? It's like I can't fucking speak correctly here, right? It's what spot and what place do I need to put myself in order to yield the proper character traits so that I can start to identify with a person that's successful. That's different for everybody. For some of you guys that are 18, 19, 21, the scary move for you, it might be moving out of your parents' house, which you're like, why would I do that? They pay the electric bill. Or my mom still pays my insurance, right? Get the fuck out of your parents' house, start paying your own bills. For you guys that want to start businesses, right? That have families and wives and things and people that you have to take care of. Yeah, welcome to being a fucking man. Everybody has people they have to take care of. What situation do you need to put yourself in? Guess what? Yes, you want to be successful and you are stalling, putting away your little nest egg, and as time goes on and on and on, you start to fucking hate your life more and more and more. Guess what the fuck you're gonna have to do? you're going to have to cut the rope. You're going to have to make a ballsy decision. You are going to have to put yourself in a situation where your back is against the wall, because what's the alternative? The alternative is the fucking life you're living now. Look how it hasn't worked out. Look how it has not worked out for you. Like, look at your life. You go, oh no, I don't need to put my back against the wall to be successful. You sure? Are you sure? Because you're not where you want to be. And every time you get to the spot where you're uncomfortable, you cower away. So how the fuck do you know that? You're just speculating. Life is based off of experience, right? If you don't have the experience, then you can't speak on it. And a lot of times, for people they don't understand this fundamental concept. I can speak for myself on this. Guys, the reason that I am so clear on what I'm doing and so sure and so certain of it is because I know what I don't want to do. I've experienced enough to know what I absolutely hate and what I will not fucking tolerate in my life. I know enough because I've experienced enough to know. And it's not about figuring out what you want to do. A lot of times it's about figuring out who the fuck you do not want to be and what you don't want to do. I've learned more from people that I didn't want to be like than for people that I did want to be like. Literally, I will say that again. I have learned more from people that displayed traits that I didn't agree with, nor did I want to possess, than I did from people that I did want to be like. Because, you know why? Because as much as we want the goal, we may think we want the goal, but actually what we really want is we want to escape from our pain. That's what we want. We want an escape from the pain that we're in. But you know what the tragic fucking truth about that is that it has to hurt a lot for you to change. So guess what? If you haven't made a change yet, guess what? As much as it hurts, and as much as you say you hate it, and as much as you say, I'm fucking done with this job, or I'm done with this habit, or I'm done with this person, whatever it is, your life will be a reflection if that's true or not. Because I can say, you can look at me and say, oh yeah, Gabe did actually hate his life situation. He did hate his job. That's why he left. And you'll know that that's true. Why? Because now I own a business that does over $500,000 a year. When I was making $30,000 a fucking year in 2021, and that was the most money I ever fucking made in a year. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had to put myself in a position, and people act like, oh, well, what does he do that I'm not doing? Bitch, I fucking put my back against the wall. That's what the fuck I'm doing, and that's what I do consistently that you are not doing. This is not to act like I'm fucking better than you. This is to literally grab you by your shirt and fucking shake you and be like, yo, you're entitled to think that you're not going to have to go through the same fucking shit to get to where you want to go that I did. You have to put your fucking back against the wall. I don't make these fucking rules. And for a lot of you people, you need to fundamentally understand the power of cutting the fucking rope, not having a plan B, and making a fucking decision for your future. And then everyone's going to look at you and they're going to be like, damn, he's so different. What is he doing that I'm not? Right? It's not even about that. It's that I know who the fuck I am. And a lot of you guys don't. You don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know the things that you identify with. And you're just tolerating your current situation. When the fuck is it going to be enough for you, dude? And the reason I say this is because I see men that are in so much fucking pain because they can't understand this. No one says anything to either of them. Do you fucking know that? Do you guys know that us right now, guys, I can almost guarantee there's no women watching this fucking movie, this fucking video right now. Right? Guys, no one really gives a fuck about us, men. They only care about what we can provide. What can we produce? Right? So, these types of conversations, these are the conversations that you need to be having with your homies. Or these are the types of videos that you need to be watching. And guys, I'm not saying this shit to make you feel bad. I'm not saying this shit to demean you or down or fucking belittle you or act like I'm fucking better than you in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I'm admitting that I'm just fucking like you and actually I'm not special. And that, do you guys notice? Do you guys notice all the takeaways from my videos? Do you see how fucking practical they are? I'm like, no, I literally just did this. Like, oh, that seems really hard. Yeah, it was. Right? But like I said in the one YouTube video I made, I said, don't worry about the, and I'm actually gonna rephrase what I said, because I'm becoming more enlightened, right? I said, don't worry about the how, worry about what you truly want to accomplish, because the how will become irrelevant. It won't matter how, because if it's what you truly want, then you'll get it. But actually, I think even deeper about this. It's not what you want, it's who you want to become. It's who you are. Who you are is going to allow yourself to make the type of money that you want. It's going to allow you to live the lifestyle that you want, attract the type of women or just coworker or fucking business partners, people in your network, friends. Attract the right people. All because you made a decision to put your back against the wall. See, a lot of people think, oh, well, I need to set higher goals. That will drive me. Yeah, it will drive you, but not as much as putting your back against the wall. Because like I said, people don't even want to accomplish the goal as much as they want to remove themselves from pain. If it hurts and you haven't changed, make it hurt more. Yeah, make it hurt more. Like, that sounds so weird, right? Like, you're working a job, okay, right? You hate it, you want to leave, but you're like, well, it pays the bills. So fucking leave. Have no income, right? Then you can see what's worse, because what was worse was actually making money, not doing what I love to do, or not applying myself the best that I could, which now I fucking am in this business. That was the true tragedy. The tragedy of man. This is the tragedy of man, right? Is when a man never, ever takes the chance to learn himself. He lets the world and society and his fucking girlfriend and his fucking mom and his buddies and his coworkers and his clients and whoever the fuck, he lets them tell him who the fuck he is, when it should be the other way around. You should be telling other people, hey, this is who the fuck I am. This is what I tolerate. This is what I don't tolerate. A lot of you guys have to have that conversation with yourself. Who do you want to be? Who do you have to become? You want stuff? That's great. Who do you have to become to get it? It's not about the next fucking tip or trick. It's about changing the character. Do you know what happened within me when I cut my monthly income in half, and then I took what I was making per month, and then half of that I invested in my first coach? Balls. That's called having a fucking sack. That's what it's called. That's what most people don't have. See, I'm the character. You know what character I am? I'm the character that jumps off the fucking cliff and survives. In that type of movie. I'm the character that, like, damn, that was, dude, he's got a sack on him. I'm not smarter. I'm not better. I'm not cooler. I just have balls. I'm not afraid to fuck up. You know how many times I have taken more fucking L's in my life than W's. I lose more consistently than I fucking win. If we're talking about winning and losing, guess what? It's like a 10-to-1 ratio. For every 10 times I lose, I win once. If you knew that every 10 times you lose, you win once, wouldn't you be getting out there more? Wouldn't you be not afraid to lose? What would your life look like if you knew that every 10 losses leads to a W? You'd be losing more often. And you wouldn't identify with that being a bad thing. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm a loser. No. You're a fucking winner because you're not afraid to lose. No victim.